Hi, I'm Owen Casey Stevens, and this is the story of how my wife discovered that my having a nosebleed does not necessarily wake me up during the night. I used to have nosebleeds quite regularly. Early on in our marriage, this was not something I thought to tell my wife, that if I had a nosebleed and I was asleep, I might well stay asleep. So one night, apparently, I had a fairly serious nosebleed. My wife woke up during the night and just saw sort of a glisten over on my pillow and reached out to see what was wrong, and her hand came back covered in blood. Her reaction, which ultimately I think was quite reasonable, was to go, "Ah!" Now, up till this point, I had been asleep. I can sleep through a lot. I can't sleep through that. So I wake up, my wife is screaming, her hand is covered in blood, and she's screaming bloody murder. And my first thought, honest to God, is that either she's cut her hand really, really badly somehow, like the mirror shattered, or we're under attack. So I start yelling, "Ah!" And she's yelling, "Ah!" And I sit up, and blood's going everywhere, and I've got blood all down the side of my head, and she thinks that an axe murderer snuck in the middle of the night and hit me, and that I'm not aware that I'm dying, and I think she's in serious trouble. And we just scream for several seconds. "Ah! Ah! Ah!" I'm sure from the outside observer it was pretty comical, but to us it was quite upsetting at the time. So eventually my wife was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I don't know, you're screaming." And she said, "You've got blood all over your head." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I thought you were bleeding." "No, it's your blood." "Oh! Oh, well, that's probably just a nosebleed then. That's normal." It took quite a bit of time to convince my wife that that was normal, and I still think she kind of holds it against me that I did not warn her that she might wake up in the middle of the night and find half her husband's head covered in blood. But, early in a marriage, you learn about each other. It's good times.